Johnny's got his girl from California out, so he's taking the week off, which is fine. We've got a morning off tomorrow. I got to handle that thing. You know, the thing where I got to say, yeah, sorry, things got a little wild at the beginning of 2024. Yeah, not going to do that again. I got to be like Morgan Freeman in his parole hearings where I'm like, I can honestly say I'm a changed man. No threat to society here. So I got to go do that thing. Thank God that's doing better. Thank God that part of my life is good. For the first time in like 4 years, that part of my life is good. That feels awesome. Look, man, I just straight up have a lot of shit to be happy about. I've just got a lot of stuff to be thankful for, you know, after the way this year started and now the way it's going. So thank you for whatever role you might have played in that. A lot of it was friends and family and therapists. And I mean, it really was. It was an all hands on deck deal to put me back together again. And boy, do I appreciate it. I just, you know, that feeling that nothing that isn't important can get to you is really nice. I like that. It's, and the ability to ignore bullshit. You know, I didn't have that ability before. I didn't have that tool. I didn't have that skill set to like look at like I always thought everything needed a response. That's how I used to think. And now it's just, it's sad, but at 37, you get that adult feeling where you look at people like throwing a fit or being stupid, and you can just look at it and go, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm good, thanks. I'm going to be over here. I love that feeling. Amongst many other things that I've accomplished this summer. Funeral director with $2. I love how, like, I go to check on the YouTube super chats and stuff, and I'm sitting here talking about, like, man, everything's so good. Everything's so nice. This is one of the things about doing this show that, like, as I get better, like, this is kind of the part where I go, you know that thing where I go, guys, come on. You're being silly. It's a little bullshit. Like, you go to the YouTube stuff, and it's just, like, not even towards me. It's just like negativity towards other people. You know? It's just like the first super chat I get is just calling like Keanu a dude and talking shit about Chrissy and Keanu. And it's just like, I'm sure that's fun for you guys and that's great. And that's awesome that, you know, you're having a good time. But like for me, I just go and read it and I'm like, I had a great weekend. I'm feeling really good. Got another awesome weekend planned this weekend. A lot of shit looking up. And then you just go to look and you're like starting things off on Monday and you're like, I hope I'm making people happy, putting smiles on their faces, making the workday go by a little quicker. And then the first thing you read is it's just people shitting on each other. And you're just like, why? You know? And not shitting on each other like busting balls. It's fun, which I've always loved. It's like shitting on people. Like, and for no reason. Had nothing to do with anything I've been talking about, nothing to do with the start of the show. It's just people being shitty. And it's just like, that doesn't, I got to ask you a question. That doesn't eat at your soul a little? Like, that doesn't take away a little piece of yourself? Like, I don't know. Funeral director with $2 says, Canoe, I don't know what tune this song is, but they made it to the tune of a song. Says, Canoe is a dude. Canoe is a dude. I don't know how you want that sang. I don't know the notes on that one, but thank you. And then Squeal Like a Pig with $1.99 says, Chrissy and Keanu were talking shit last night. Guys, that's fine. Like, why do you feel the need to tattle? Like, I don't get it. Like, if the two of them are obviously, you know, they've been snowed. It happens. They're internet people. We have nothing in common. There's no reason for us to cross paths anymore. But people want to come to you and they're like, these people were talking shit. And you're like, that's okay. Like, no, what are you? Like, people just want to line you up with other people to fight with them. And then you can look them right in the camera and you can go, guys, I don't want to fight. I just want to do a fun show, have a good time, make a little money, and call it a day. But they were talking shit. Who cares? Like, do you do that? Like, you don't do this in your real life. I want to keep this as close to real life as possible, you know, like tethered to the real world if I could. That's why we talk about shit in the real world. Do you really go around to people Please tell me you don't. Like, you don't go around to people in your personal life and go like, so-and-so was talking shit. What are you going to do about it? Like, don't. I hope you're not like that, because honestly, even if I don't know you, that bums me the fuck out to know that there's human beings who are that way. But don't be that way on the internet either. Keel Aldajuice with $2 says, met Johnny and his girl at DC2 on Saturday. Oh, is that? No. I was going to say that's Deadpool Wolverine. I don't know what DC2 is. Good times. And then a Black Power Fist, which I think is very in vogue these days. Yeah, I met Johnny and his girl this weekend. I met Johnny and his I don't think I'm supposed to be using names. I don't think so. But I met Johnny and his girl, and it was a lot. We had a great time. What was it? Saturday night when we did the Blue Heron. We can tell you now. We did Cold Spring Brewing Company's 150th anniversary party for all their employees. It was fun, man. It was a good time. Private gigs are always interesting because you go up there, you do an hour, and they're not necessarily there to hear comedy. So you have to kind of meet them where they are. I like that you have to you don't know what the show's going to be. I had a bunch of jokes and a bunch of like bits planned. And the minute I got up there, I could tell they wanted to keep their party going. This was about their thing, their community, their workplace. So I said, I'll meet you there. And most of my stuff was crowd work and roast jokes about people who work there and the front office people, because I've known these people forever. And it just ended up being a lot of fun. Johnny struggled. I thought about Johnny a couple times this weekend. Johnny had a hard time getting on stage. He fell. Then he went up there and his set started really good. And then he started second guessing himself. And then he had a hard time remembering what he was going to do. He said his MS was kind of acting up. And then he started telling me like, oh, I was going to tell this joke, but I saw this person in the crowd. And I was going to tell this joke, but I saw this person in the crowd. And then he ended his set a little early. And he was just having a tough time. And it just, I don't know, I don't mean to get too heavy or down on you on a Monday, but it just kind of made me think like about Johnny's health and like, I don't know. It was one of those things where, how do I put this? I was like, if this gets worse, what do we do? Like what's the next step? And I try not to think about that, but, you do. It was a lot of fun, though. The show was great. Johnny's girl was awesome. She was a really nice lady. And to address Anonymous in the Rumble chat, yes, Johnny's female was female. It was an actual woman. So anyone who was guessing transgender or mail order bride or anything like that, no, that was not the case. Funeral director with $5. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make funeral director feel bad. He goes, sorry about bringing you down with the first super chat. Continue talking about your naps in Celsius. Bro, it's a 4.5-hour show. We're going to pace ourselves a little bit. All right. No offense. I thank you very much for the money. It's very nice of you. But, Is talking about Kiana really interesting to you? Let's be honest. I mean, I love it when people say that. They go, oh, no, continue talking about your weekend and everything else. I'm like, okay, is the thing you wrote about, you know how many people I would bore to tears if I started going down that road and talking about that? Nobody would give a shit. It's a big room. I got to think about everybody, funeral director. And yeah, a lot of people who just want that drama stuff, I try to be really nice to them. I guess I shouldn't. I also want to be kind to them. I want to be nice, and I want to welcome them into the show, and I want them to kind of get down with what we're doing. But some guy wrote in this morning, and he just goes, you're not banning people. You're banning money. Those people will pay to what? Pay to be negative and shitty and make other people feel shitty and, make people complain like, Aaron, I don't like it in this spot because this person's a total dick. Like, but they gave me $5, so I should. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm beholden to that. I don't feel like I have to have that. I think the people who enjoy this show and have a good time with us and hang out, I think they'll give us enough money. I think that money can be replaced. There's the grift today, right? Prove that guy wrong and show that financially this show can stand on its own 2 feet without needing, like, that would be weird if I needed to let people like be dramatic or shit on me or whatever just to keep doing this. I wouldn't do this if that were the case. I've come too far, you know? All right. Graydon says, you better call Ethan for blood sports. Make a few shekels at least. No, that's all right. Ethan Klein. No, not Ethan Klein. Ethan Killstream guy. Ralph. Ethan Ralph. He sent me a message. He wants to do some pro wrestling shtick with, like, he's going to be in Minnesota, so he wants me to do his show. And I got to find a way to say this that doesn't make me sound like a pretentious ass, but, like, it's not really my vibe. Like, that, he does that kind of pro wrestling, let's fight on the air shit, and it's just like, I don't know. It's not really for me. I hope he has a great trip. I really do, but I don't. You get to choose who you associate with, and no offense to him, that's just not a guy I want to be tied to, because that's another one where it's just going to be nothing but drama. It's going to be nothing but it's like, I'm not online that much, dude. I'm online during my show, and that's about it. So I wrote him back. I said, nah, it's not really for me. No, thank you. I appreciate the offer. Like, he was being all, come on, you snitch, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's not really my thing. And I said, I hope you have a great trip. I hope you have a good time here in Minnesota. It's just not for me. And now he'll try to make like a 45-minute bit out of that one message of like, hey, scared of me, and at SummerSlam, you're going to see that I'm going to. And you're just like, okay, I'll hang out with the kids and I'll go run some errands and do some stuff today, I suppose. McBuster says, nobody cares about the lake. Are you going to broadcast live from the courthouse Wednesday when Nick makes an ass out of himself again? No, I just, I think Nick and Kayla have their thing on Wednesday and April has hers the following Wednesday. I got my court thing on Tuesday. I got to go out and I've got to, go apologize for how I treated someone. And then they'll say, all right, don't do it again, or we're going to do this to you. And I say, okie dokie. And luckily, things with that person have been going fantastic, and I'm very excited about that. And, life seems to be in the right direction. So I got no problem with taking responsibility for shit I did, back in March and April. No problem. That's all part of the process of moving forward, is not fighting when you did something wrong and just, saying you're sorry, taking your lumps and moving on. So I'm excited about that. Also gives me a morning off tomorrow. So hopefully we knock out the goal today. We knock out the goal tonight. We get off to a good start, and I take a small little vacation.